certain meetings shift the course of your entire life. There are instances when the world seems to pause, as if holding its breath. When your eyes meet another's, your heart senses a truth that your mind hasn't yet pieced together, no matter how far apart you are, what hurdles lie in the way, or how many years slip by. When fate whispers, an unseen energy pulls two spirits closer, like magnets finding their match. This isn't just a random fluke or a stroke of fortune. It feels like an ancient tale resurfacing, carrying whispers of something timeless and profound. There's a depth here that goes beyond a fleeting spark of attraction. Real love blooms when you're ready to embrace it, even if it's just a quiet nudge from your subconscious. This narrative beckons you to explore that deep summons, where hidden strands of the mind intertwine, guiding paths toward reconnection, growth, and letting go. Prepare for a voyage where love transcends mere emotion. It's a calling, a reflection, a moment of waking up. Drop a comment below with "I believe in the magic of truly reconnecting." When we talk about love as something fated and steered by unseen forces, we step into the symbolic world of Carl Jung's analytical psychology. To Jung, meaningful meetings aren't just happy accidents. They're expressions of the collective unconscious, revealed through synchronicity, moments that, while not tied by clear cause and effect, hold deep significance for those involved. So, when two people cross paths unexpectedly with an intense connection, it's as if their inner selves were already in conversation long before their eyes met. In this light, true love mirrors the journey of individuation, the quest to become whole by embracing the parts of ourselves we've ignored or cast onto others. Often, the person we fall for reflects the anima or animus, the inner feminine or masculine aspects of our psyche. Falling in love draws us toward unacknowledged pieces of ourselves, stirred awake by the other's presence. Destiny, then, isn't a rigid roadmap but an inner urging to grow. True love offers a rare chance to face our shadow, the traits we fear or deny, and to see the sacred in another. When the connection is authentic, it rises above time and barriers, turning challenges into healing and revelation. This story dives into that profound layer of love, where the union of two souls doubles as an inner homecoming, echoing the universal quest we're all meant to embark on. There are times when life feels choreographed by a greater hand. A chance encounter, a fleeting glance in a bustling crowd, a conversation that sparks out of thin air, and suddenly, everything shifts. For Jung, these aren't mere quirks of fate. He named them synchronicities, events linked not by logic but by a shared, profound meaning. It's in that mysterious space between our inner selves and the outer world that fate starts to show its hand. True love, when guided by this deep pull, doesn't feel like a calculated decision but an unavoidable event. When two souls connect through synchronicity, it's as if their cores are responding to an ancient promise. Jung saw the collective unconscious as a vast pool of shared human experiences and archetypes, manifesting these bonds through vivid symbols. Love, in this sense, shines as one of the most powerful symbols. It calls, it stirs, it reshapes. Fated encounters often come with an unmistakable sense of familiarity. People who felt it might say, "It was like I'd known them forever," or "It felt more like reconnecting than meeting for the first time." Synchronicity serves as a bridge, tying outer events to the soul's inner shifts. When the external world echoes our internal state, destiny becomes vivid and clear. These life-altering meetings often happen at turning points, when one chapter of life is fading and another looms ahead, often amid grief, change, or quiet emptiness. It's in these tender, open moments that the unconscious works its strongest magic, steering us toward where we're meant to be. Destiny isn't a strict blueprint, it's fluid, symbolic, yet resolute in guiding us toward experiences that make us whole. True love, as a facet of destiny, defies the constraints of time and circumstance. No matter how many seasons pass or how life transforms, it lingers as an invisible tether, gently drawing one soul toward another. When it comes to love, destiny isn't about owning or controlling someone. It's about rediscovery, about seeing in another person a piece of ourselves we couldn't quite pinpoint but always felt was missing, a glimpse of our truest core. Jung teaches us that life is woven with symbols, and our unconscious speaks through them, like a quiet language of the soul. The person who captures our heart often embodies an archetypal image, stirring something long buried or overlooked within us. So, this meeting isn't just two people crossing paths or two lives intertwining, it's two inner worlds, two vast psychic landscapes that have been silently reaching for each other across time. It feels like the reawakening of an ancient archetype, perhaps from a past life or the deepest corners of the psyche that stretch beyond this lifetime. When fate beckons, it doesn't make a grand announcement. It murmurs softly, showing up in gentle hints, stubborn coincidences, moments of déjà vu, or a gut feeling that won't let go. That person might slip into your dreams, linger in your thoughts, or even appear through a song that plays at the perfect moment, as if the universe is nudging you. This isn't some mystical trick, it's a harmony between your inner stirrings and the world's way of echoing them back. In this sense, true love answers a question we didn't even know we were asking. It takes a quiet openness to hear that whisper. Often, our ego, the part of us that likes control, tries to brush it off, explain it away, or pretend it's not there. After all, destiny doesn't always take the smoothest path. It shakes us up, challenges our comfort, and pulls us into unfamiliar territory. But it also unlocks doors to deeper self-awareness and powerful healing. A transformative encounter is also one that mends us. True love, born from destiny, isn't just here to soothe an emotional ache. It arrives with a grander mission, to awaken the most authentic version of ourselves. It sets us back on the soul's journey, where time fades and the truth of our emotions becomes our compass. What we call passion is just the spark of a much deeper voyage of self-discovery. The fire we feel for someone isn't only about their traits, it's about what they symbolize within us. Jung called this projection, a process where we cast hidden parts of our soul onto another person. When we fall in love, we're really reconnecting with pieces of ourselves we'd forgotten or pushed aside, now reflected in the other. Projection can be both captivating and crushing. It makes us see our partner as almost otherworldly, flawless, destined to complete us. That feeling of wholeness is magnetic, nearly impossible to resist. But over time, those projected images start to fade, revealing the real person behind the illusion. This is the pivotal moment when true love can begin to take root, as long as we recognize what was always ours to claim. Jung gave us the terms anima and animus to describe these inner figures we project outward. The anima is the feminine essence within a man, while the animus is the masculine essence within a woman. These aren't just psychological concepts, they shape our dreams, desires, and expectations in love. When we meet someone who seems to embody these archetypes, an almost sacred pull draws us in, beyond mere physical attraction or emotional connection. It's a deeper, almost cosmic recognition. At this point, love becomes a rite of passage. It holds the other person up like a mirror, where every action, every response, every quiet moment teaches us something about ourselves. In that reflection, we start to see our own soul more clearly. What we admire in them might be a strength we haven't yet nurtured in ourselves. What frustrates or hurts us could point to our shadow, the parts of our personality we hide or reject, yet still guide our choices and reactions. Jung's concept of individuation is all about weaving these fragments together to become whole. When love is genuine, it's the perfect soil for this growth. It knocks us off balance, questions our assumptions, and pushes us to look inward. It's not always a cozy kind of love, but it's real, unafraid to expose, challenge, and reshape us. The moment we realize the image we projected onto someone no longer fits the reality can sting. It's normal to feel let down, frustrated, or even angry. But this stage is crucial. The crumbling of that projection opens the door to conscious, intentional love. When we let go of the idealized image we've painted and start to cherish the real person in front of us, flaws, mysteries, and all, that's when true love begins to take root. It's a love that truly sees, accepts, and honors the other for who they are. This kind of connection becomes a nurturing ground for both people to grow together. The other is no longer a perfect fantasy but a genuine partner, walking side by side with you, neither leading nor trailing. The relationship turns into a vibrant workshop for the soul, where every disagreement offers a chance to deepen self-understanding and broaden awareness. That initial spark of passion, with its intense symbolic pull, isn't tossed aside. It evolves into something steadier, more grounded, and far more authentic. So, love moves beyond being just a fated moment and becomes a journey. It's a path that calls for bravery, vulnerability, and a commitment to seeing the other clearly, which in turn helps us see ourselves with greater honesty. The fire of passion doesn't have to fade, it just takes on a new shape. When we integrate those projections, what's left is a profound, intentional, and life-changing bond, a love that doesn't just brighten life but reshapes it at its core. No meaningful relationship sails smoothly without facing its darker depths. True love isn't only about soft moments and glowing encounters. It demands that we navigate the shadowy corners of our soul, and our partners too. It's in this hidden realm, where unhealed wounds, buried traumas, and suppressed urges live, that Carl Jung's concept of the shadow resides. In the closeness of a deep relationship, this shadow finds room to surface. The shadow holds everything we've pushed down to fit into the world: fears, anger, jealousy, bitterness, and desires we've labeled as wrong. In a loving bond, these feelings can bubble up with surprising force, as the intimacy leaves us raw and open. Yet, it's this very closeness that gives us a unique chance to notice what we'd miss on our own. The other becomes a mirror, reflecting not just our beauty but also our pain. Conflicts, misunderstandings, envy, or doubt, these aren't signs that love is failing but invitations to wake up. They're moments when the shadow steps into the light, asking us to recognize, embrace, and weave it into who we are. The relationship becomes a symbolic arena, where the ego's certainties and walls must yield to something bigger: transformation. True love faces this test, and it's no easy feat when the other disappoints or wounds us. Our first instinct might be to shield ourselves or lash out. But if we pause and dig deeper, we often find that what irritates us about them mirrors something we reject in ourselves. When we project our shadow onto our partner, it can show up as control, manipulation, judgment, or cold silence. Everything that stings carries a vital lesson. In this process, the relationship acts like an alchemical forge, melting away the ego, burning off illusions, and confronting our rawest instincts. But it's also in this heat that love is refined. A love that endures storms doesn't pretend conflicts don't exist, it dives into them with honesty and courage. It understands that loving means embracing the discomfort of growth, letting go of perfect ideals, and accepting flaws. The journey through the shadow is deeply personal, but a relationship can amplify it, bringing to light what might stay hidden otherwise. By walking this path with someone, we open the door to healing old wounds. This takes humility and self-awareness, owning our emotions without pointing fingers and seeing crises as chances to grow. Jung believed that what we ignore in our unconscious comes back as fate. In relationships, this is clear. We replay old patterns, sabotage ourselves, or draw in people who spark our deepest fears. But if we listen to the lessons these cycles offer, they become doorways. Love stops feeling like a trap and becomes a path to freedom. It moves beyond fantasy to become real. At this point, the connection grows truly resilient, not because of shared hobbies or happy times, but because both have navigated chaos together. A love that weathers the shadow doesn't cling to ideals but honors the reality of the other. A love that doesn't chase perfection but offers steady presence is the kind that endures. It doesn't dodge conflicts but leans into them as stepping stones for growth. Every challenge in a relationship, every heated argument, heavy silence, or moment of crisis isn't a sign of failure but a doorway to uncovering deeper layers within ourselves. When we look at our partner with clear, conscious eyes, love becomes a powerful force for healing, not just holding the relationship together but nourishing the very essence of our soul. When love rises above the pull of desire, the haze of projection, and the sting of conflict, it steps into a sacred realm. Here, the bond between two people transcends the emotional or physical, it becomes a symbolic, archetypal connection. Jung describes this as the harmonizing of inner opposites, where the anima and animus stop being mere shadows cast onto the other and are instead recognized and woven into our own being. It's the soul's alchemical union, a blending of contrasts. When two aware individuals reach this point, something extraordinary and transformative emerges. The anima, the feminine essence in a man, and the animus, the masculine essence in a woman, act as bridges linking the conscious ego to the unconscious depths. At first, we project these archetypes onto others. They show up in our dreams, our urges, our idealized visions. But as we grow through individuation, we start to see them as vital parts of our own psyche. The other person stops being a reflection of what we lack and becomes a true partner, valued not for filling a gap but for being seen beyond the mirror. This kind of soul reunion, rooted in heightened awareness, carries profound symbolic weight. It's not driven by a need to patch an emptiness but by a longing to share completeness. This connection holds a quiet balance that doesn't demand proof, ownership, or control. It's the understanding that true love isn't about merging into one but about communing, two souls meeting, not to erase each other, but to expand together. This sacred bond reflects the soul's journey toward wholeness, which isn't about being flawless but about integration. When the inner masculine and feminine find equilibrium, we connect with another from a place of fullness, not need. Love shifts from a plea to a gift. Relationships that reach this depth go beyond the ordinary. They become spiritual odysseys, where your partner is not just a lover but a teacher, a mirror, a guide. The relationship transforms into a space of symbolic fulfillment, where the ego's dramas give way to the soul's quiet conversation. Love becomes an archetypal force, a living expression of the self, the core of the psyche, the spark of the divine within us. This love doesn't rely on grand words or romantic gestures. It thrives in comforting silences, knowing glances, and steadfast presence. It honors life's rhythms, accepting that not every day will brim with passion but finding beauty in the everyday. It's a love that flows with life without smothering it, one that sees freedom as the foundation of true surrender. Even this sacred union faces its tests. It's not immune to struggles, but it meets them with emotional wisdom and a symbolic lens, viewing each challenge as a new chapter in the journey of individuation rather than a threat to the bond. There's faith in the process and a shared dedication to truth, fostering a rare intimacy that doesn't flinch at the soul's vulnerability. This love doesn't demand perfection or enlightenment from either person, just a willingness to keep walking the path. The reunion of souls isn't a fixed endpoint but a continuous choice, a delicate creation built on listening, empathy, respect, and above all, awareness. The other isn't here to rescue us but to walk beside us as we find our own way. This love moves at the soul's pace, unhurried, knowing that soul time isn't bound by clocks. It blooms when the moment feels right and grows stronger with care. When two people reach this level of connection, they become more than partners. They become living symbols of a greater truth, where love is not just an emotion but a reflection of the eternal within the human. Through this journey, we come to see that true love is more than a meeting of two people. It's a rediscovery of the forgotten corners of our soul. When destiny calls, it doesn't point outward but inward, guiding us through synchronicities, revealing our projections, exposing our shadows, and ultimately inviting us to wholeness. True love isn't fueled by ideals but by conscious choice. It thrives when we have the courage to see the other as they are and, even more, to embrace the truths they awaken in us. This is the magic of the sacred reunion, two souls who don't seek each other out of need but recognize each other through a deep, essential connection, a love that transcends romance to become a path of transformation and self-discovery. If this story stirred something in you, if you felt that quiet inner call, consider subscribing to keep exploring this inner journey. And don't miss the video now on your screen. It's chosen to take this exploration even deeper. Watch it to the end and let the awareness of true love reshape your own story. Destiny has spoken. Now it's time for your soul to answer.